Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would switch it up a little bit and we would bake some rhubarb bread together. My grandmother, who loves to bake, frequently bakes with rhubarb throughout the summer, so baking with it just reminds me of really good times and some really fun memories. The recipe was passed down to me from her. I can't guarantee that it's the healthiest recipe, but it is so good. You certainly can make any substitutions or add in any alternatives that you would like to maybe make it a little bit healthier. But for today, I'll be sticking with the original recipe. The recipe itself is very straightforward and calls for very minimal ingredients. So it's very quick, easy, and again, so delicious. So for ingredients, this is everything that we will need. I already have everything measured out and ready to go. To start, we will need 1.5 cups of light brown sugar, 2/3 cup oil. I just used what we had on hand, and that was vegetable oil. 1 cup of buttermilk, 1 egg, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. For dry ingredients, we will need 2.5 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. When it comes to the rhubarb, the recipe calls for 1.5 cups to 2 cups of chopped rhubarb. I just got this at our local grocery store. And then lastly, for the streusel topping that you put on top of the bread, we will need another 1/2 cup of brown sugar and 1 tablespoon of butter. First step, we will set our oven to 325. Next, we will mix all of our wet ingredients and our sugars together. So I'll mix the brown sugar, the oil, and the vanilla. Give it a good stir. This is what the brown sugar, oil, and vanilla looks like. Next, I'll add the egg and then the buttermilk. This is what all of the wet ingredients mixed together looks like. And now we'll go ahead and mix together all of our dry ingredients. So I'll add in our flour, salt, and baking soda. And then we'll give that a good mix. Give that a stir. Once all of our dry ingredients are mixed together, we will slowly add that to our wet ingredients. Once both the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients are mixed together, make sure you don't overmix. We will add in the chopped rhubarb and gently fold it into the batter. Once the rhubarb is folded into the batter, you'll take that and you'll pour it into a loaf pan. The recipe itself calls for to divide it up into 2 loaf pans, but I find that this loaf pan I have here, just a normal standard size pan, it works to just put it all in one pan to make 1 loaf. Lastly, before we put the bread into the oven, we'll take our 1/2 cup of brown sugar and our stick of 1 tablespoon of butter, and we'll cut our butter up, and then we'll mix it into brown sugar to make kind of like like a coarse topping. And then finally, we will pour it on top of our bread. So this is what it looks like, all ready to be put into the oven for 1 hour at 325. So this is the bread. It's been out of the oven for about a half an hour. Even though it's super tempting, it's important to let it sit for about 30 minutes just so it can properly set, and you'll have a much easier time cutting it as well. So it's been sitting for about an additional 10 minutes. It feels kind of cool to the touch, so I think it's ready to slice.